Hey, this is Private Friend Incorporated. Miss JJ Don. I'm back. I had forgot to pay my podcast bill, so I was short of time. So now I can really talk to you guys. I was wondering what was going on, but I fixed the problem. Now, my last podcast, I was talking about the black men of Charlotte being successful, and I'm challenging them to pick one youth and love them like they're your own. You know, these are our people, and we have to help save them. I mean, granted, some of them don't want to be saved. However, you know, we have to try to save the ones that do really want to be saved, not just put up a front because they want to be, act like they want to be saved. A lot of them is caught up in the drama of the streets. Some of them is caught up in their own family issues or whatever they've been through. Like me, I was a child that I always wanted to be in the in crowd, and when I look back, I say to myself, the in crowd didn't get me anywhere. All it did was give me fame, stress. It really didn't get me much. However, only thing it did get me is where I am today with my businesses, trying to build to help the communities of the youth and the elderly, and just to give back, because someone gave back to me, and someone loved me, and it's nothing like having someone to love you no matter what. A lot of people don't realize that all these kids need is real love, and sometimes it's real hard to love them. Like my grandson, I'm gonna tell y'all, some days I just want to just take him and turn his head upside down and bang it to the floor, but I realize he doesn't have, the father and mother figure that he deserves to have. Every child deserves to have a mother and a father, and I went through the same thing. They took me from my mother when I was young. My father wasn't around. He was going through his issues. I guess one day he'll talk to you guys about what he was going through and why he couldn't be there for me. However, people don't understand what it goes through unless you've been through it. And it's sad to say, they point the finger, oh, this child is crazy, this child is going through this child is going through that, but you don't know what that child has been through, and the things that they experienced, and that the experiences is what make us, people don't realize that if you don't experience anything, you're not going to learn anything. So when you go through experiences, this is how you learn. Same with a dog. If you have a dog and you feed him at a certain time every day, and you take him out to walk him every day, and then tomorrow you don't do it that way, it changes his way of thinking because he experienced what he was going through the day before when he went out at, say, 3, and then you brought him back and fed him. This is how they learn. They're being trained. The same way with children. They have to be trained, and unfortunately, the world is designed to destroy because everything bad is good, and we have to find a way to train these kids to know the difference. Just because bad is good don't mean you join in with bad to be good. we have to teach. That's just the bottom line. We have to continue to teach. You know, I give a shout out to all of those on Facebook that continue to teach every day. I just ran into a rapper from Philly. I can't say his name. When I get his name, I will let y'all know. It's LGP, something like that. But young boy, and he spits knowledge, all knowledge. You know, I give a shout out to him as well. We have to show these kids how to care for themselves. Besides going in the streets, robbing, stealing, killing, you know, we have to teach them survival. You know, I come up from the eras of gangsters, real gangsters, you know, and gangsters taught, you know, they didn't destroy, you know, and this is something that I need to tell y'all, you know. They might have looked bad, say, to the government or other organizations or whatever the case may be, but they taught. And those that they felt can be saved, they saved them, you know. And I was one of those people, you know, because even though I had my uncle, I still had to come in the streets every day. You know, and when I came in the streets, there was always people there to protect me, you know, to say, hey, nope, you're not going to do that. And I'm going to tell you why, you know, you're not going to do this. You're not using drugs because this is what drugs do to you. You know, big up to Harlem. You know, they were the best at it, you know, to keep me off of drugs. I'm thankful. You don't know. I'm blessed. You know, they showed me all kind of ways of why I should not use drugs. You know, people call me lame, but you gotta get mad with Harlem about that. I'm lame because they wanted to save me because I was savable. You know what I mean? You know, I had one gangster from Harlem. Shout out to him if he listens to this podcast. He'll know the story. He took me up on the block on Amsterdam Avenue, and he had his pit bulls, and he said, "Watch this." And he brought a young lady over that was on drugs, and he said to her, no, she said to him, "Give me something," and he said, "I'm not giving you anything." And she said, "What you want me to do?" Hello? Suck the dog's pee-pee. And she got down there and sucked the dog's pee-pee for some crack. And he said, "Baby girl, you see? This is why I want you to stay away from drugs." And all I can do is just look at him, you know. And I said, "But why did you make her do that? Why did you?" He said, "Because I needed to show you why I don't want you on drugs." And I said, yeah, so, you know, he did this to teach me, you know. He said, "Look, I want you to learn. This is not for everybody, and this is not something you want to get caught up in." You know, there was another person that came to me, and well, no, didn't come to me. They was actually using drugs in front of me, and they said, I said, "What's that?" And it was like, "You don't want no part of this," you know. And being that I'm a strong believer in God, and I have a lot of faith, when things are being taught to me, I take heed, you know, because I say that this is God's way of, because God teaches through people, you know, and that's something that people need to know, you know. We have to learn that when things are happening around us the same way or similar, it's because the universe is sending down a message to us to teach us that I'm trying to give you this information. All I need you to do is accept it and go down the journey that I'm giving you. But if you don't accept it, this is what's going to happen to you. We get guidance from the Bible. We get guidance from the streets. We get guidance from our parents. But if you don't utilize it, it's not going to work. You know? People have to learn how to make the right choice for their lives. You know? No one's perfect. You know? Even though they wanted to make a perfect little girl out of me, I'm not perfect either. You know? But I learned how to make my choices wisely, you know. Not all my choices, but some of them, you know. We have control over that. And anything that you have control over, utilize it to make yourself happy. I was one that always had a lot of abusive boyfriends. You know, some of the guys, you know, I had relations with, and some guys I didn't have relations with. But they will become possessive and abusive. They wanted to be controlling. And I had choices of staying with that or getting away from it. And a lot of people don't understand that, you know, I watched my mom be abused as a child. I lost my brother to being molested and raped, and I was also molested and put in a room for 7 days without food and water. But I survived it. You know, and I'm thankful. However, I had to lose my brother in order to survive, to get help. And I have to live with that every day of my life. Every day that my brother had to die in order for people to believe and come save us. You know. Why do these kids got to continue to die for people to help them? You know? Like right now, they got the little girl in Philadelphia. You know, she saved herself from dying. And what they do, they lock her up. But if she would have waited for somebody to come save her, she would have been dead. You know? And she made her choice. You know, it's never fair to us on what choices we make, you know. But as long as she's alive and able to tell her story to somebody else, maybe it would save them. You know, I got to a point with being abused, you know, by different men. I was thrown through doors, punched in the face. You know, they always wanted to mess up my face, you know, because I was a nice looking person. And, you know, they didn't like that other guys would look at me or talk to me. But not only was I nice looking, I had a great personality because I was always running into good people. So they built that within me, you know, to be kind and loving and, you know, endure people as you meet them, you know. And just because you say hello and smile at a person don't mean you want to sleep with them. Just because you have guy friends doesn't mean you're sleeping with them. It's your personality that has brought them to you. But a lot of my boyfriends, they couldn't accept that. So they would fight me and, you know, beat on me and, you know, put me in the hospital and, I got tired, and I said, no more. And I went out and I got me a gun, and I said, the next man that put his hands on me, I'm going to blow his brains out. And that would have been my choice of survival. You know what I mean? So, I give a big up to that girl for fighting and getting her survival methods on, because she's alive. A lot of women don't make it. Domestic violence and abuse and being kidnapped and raped is serious, people. I've been there. And a lot of people don't survive it. And if they do survive it, some of them don't survive it mentally. It destroys you. So if we can avoid these things from happening by teaching these young guys not to beat their women and how to treat a woman. Back in Buffalo, I was in domestic violence class, Catholic Charities, big up the Catholic Charities. And they was training me, teaching me like what a man is supposed to be like, and how a man is supposed to treat his woman. And we had we had a black man. I don't know if he's still at Catholic Charities. Shout out to Buffalo. But he said, I wash my wife's hair. She gets in the bathtub and I go and I wash her hair for her. And I said, do you? He said, yes. He said, I love my wife. He said, I'll do anything for my wife. And I said, really? And I sat there and I said, wow, I never had a husband, because I had been through 2 marriages by this point, come in the bathroom and wash my hair and let me lay back and relax and let me feel like a queen, And I was like, wow, I wanted to meet her, because I was saying to myself, like, how did you get this man, where he really loves you, And this is what these men today, they don't know how to love because they've never been loved. And it takes, even some of these successful men, they still don't know how to love, all they know is getting money, being successful, but you have to balance it, like me. They say, how do you balance it? I was working 70 hours a week and trying to take care of my family, and I did well. I was proud of me, because I couldn't be a full-time mother, but I did my best, and my kids was happy, they were happy. And I like to see my children and my family happy. Sometimes I would come in from work and just sit down, fall straight to sleep on the couch. I couldn't even see the kids because I come in so late. They asleep. They got to go to school the next day. And I would sit down and fall asleep and wake up and get dressed and go right back to work, But I always made time for them, somehow, and gave them that extra little love. People, we have to continue to teach. These kids, they need us. They didn't ask to come here. We made the choice to bring them here. So why should they have to suffer? Kids are supposed to be able to be kids. Play, run, Growing up on Cortland Avenue is one thing I can say. And I told y'all in my last podcast, we lived in a 5-block radius with millions of people. Okay? So with that being said, they would never come out and shoot a gun. And best to believe, a lot of people lost their lives. Okay? But they would never come out during the day and shoot a gun. while the kids was running the streets. Never. They had respect for the community. They might have wanted someone to die for whatever reason, but they were going to make sure that them kids wasn't on the streets. Okay? So that's the difference between today and back then. Okay? See, the gangsters back then had respect and love for the communities. The people today don't have respect and love for the communities. And this is what we have to teach. You love where you live at. You don't hurt where you live at. Pretty much you don't shit where you live at. Okay? You take care of your community like it's your own. That's the way it worked when I was coming up. You know, this is why I was taught by so many people. You know. You know, shout out to the Bronx, period. You know. The Bronx, you know, y'all loved me. Y'all took me in like I was a newborn baby and just raised me, you know. So I got to give a big up to the Bronx, you know, definitely. You know, my family that was in the Bronx, they were very good people. I'm upset that they're gone, you know, that God had to take them, you know, but they taught me what I needed to survive, you know, and I'm okay, you know. My life is not the best, you know. Still have a lot of problems, but I'm thankful for the things that I do know and the things that they did teach me, you know. So I'm proud to say where I come from, you know. I would never in a million years claim another city, okay? So I need Maryland and Charlotte to know that, okay? I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx and Harlem. And y'all wouldn't have been able to endure me and give me the love that y'all giving me if I didn't come from there. You know? Because I was taught from there. You know? And some of the people that taught me, guess where they came from? They came from the South. So I give y'all the big up. And that's why I'm here. But y'all cannot change me because I'm New York. You know, that's who I am. And all the knowledge that I have, that's where it comes from. New York State. New York City, Buffalo, New York. You know, I've been through a lot, you know. And the pain, you know, it's hard to deal with, you know. However, you know, you get to a point where you get tired, you know, of the pain, you know. And I'm glad now that my voice can be heard internationally, not just from state to state. You know, I don't have to be running from state to state to teach, you know. I'm thankful, you know, that the internet exists because I was getting tired, you know, running from state to state, you know. But I do say the things that I see from state to state. Y'all need to get it together. and I don't blame the kids. I blame the adults. Y'all got to get it together. You know? Every time I come to New York City, Except for the last time, because I was in and out, I had some business to take care of. I visit Cortland Avenue. Whether there's people out there or not. Just to be in the presence of where I was raised was a blessing for that moment. Because it made me who I am today. When I'm in Harlem, big up to 147th Street between Broadway and Amsterdam, I ride through because they raised me. I will never forget home and where I come from because they raised me. You know, and y'all have to make the kids of today feel the same way. These kids today, they're repping other hoods, and you know, they move and be like, oh, I ain't from there. I would never rep that hood. Because the people in that hood didn't teach. Didn't help. You know? Why? Because everybody's being selfish with the knowledge. If you can't give money, you can't give love, give knowledge. There's nothing wrong with giving knowledge. Why are people so afraid to tell the truth? Why are people so afraid to accept the truth? You know? Like, people don't want to believe that I was abused. Why? It happened. Get over it. You know? I mean, what do you want me to do? Relive it? To prove it to you? No. I'm not going to relive it to prove nothing to anyone. What happened to me in my life happened, and that's why I'm the person I am today. You know, I was dealing with a lot of people in the industry, you know, and their lives, a lot of them never even lived a hard life. I'm going to just give it to y'all like that. You know, they don't even know what it's like to see a person be shot down in front of them. Or to see somebody hurt real bad, or, you know, I could give y'all a lot of stories, you know, I got them for days because, like I said, I was always in the wrong place at the wrong time, seeing something that I shouldn't have been seeing, but it gave me the knowledge that I needed to survive. You know, and it taught me a lot, and being that it taught me, I have to continue to teach. So, you know, I have girls, you know, one boy. I train my children how I was taught, and then if there was things that I wasn't taught, I sit back, and if they come home with it, and I'm like, okay, well, where did they learn this from? This seems like a good thing. You know, I evaluate it, you know, sit back and think about it, you know. And I say, okay, well, we're going to implement this into our lives because it's a good thing. You know, like Maryland, they was always implementing new stuff. You know, that's what I loved about them. They implement new stuff. And, you know, the kids bring it home, you know, or they teach us on the news. And I say, you know what? This is a good survival tip, or this is a good health tip, and we're going to implement that in our lives. And this is how we're going to live. It starts at home, people, you know. You know, people used to think I was crazy. I'm going to tell y'all why. we would have hurricanes coming. And the news, right, from state to state, are telling us what we need to do. And Jackie, me, Miss JJ, go out and do it. And, the people around you say, oh, you so crazy. Why you listen to them? Ain't nothing gonna happen, blah, 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 blah. But just in case it does happen, I'm ready. You always got to be ready. If they telling you, people always talk about the news is bad. Yeah, they do tell us a lot about bad stuff, and you're like, you just can't deal with it no more. Like, I don't want to hear about all this killing and all this raping and this person snatched some kids. I don't want to hear this stuff. But sometimes looking at the news helps us because it makes us aware of what's really going on in the world. Nobody is saying walk around scared, but you can be ready. It's about being ready. We watched the people, New Orleans, 5-6 years ago, go through what they went through. There's no reason why the people that went through this hurricane season shouldn't have been ready. Because it didn't happen within our decade. And we've been taught what to do to survive. And if you can't feel like you can't survive where you are, then you need to move. I was thankful being here in Charlotte. Because all we had was a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind. I was thankful. But it's no guarantee that one day a tornado or something else may come through here, and we gotta be ready. That's just what it is. It's a part of life. Think about all the animals that had to live through them hurricanes out in the wilderness. Y'all know I feed my ducks outside. They had to be out there and that stuff. But they was ready. They have a pattern of where they hide or what they do when the wind come too strong. They take their little people, they little ducks and family, and we come on, because we gonna survive this. And they go hide, they know how to hide, they know what to do to survive it. So why is it so hard for us human beings to learn how to survive this? Why? If the animals, we're smarter than the animals. We were made to be their rulers. And if we're smarter than them, why are they better survivors than us? I just don't get it, So this is where, we have to continue to teach. We got kids getting stressed out, young. Kids shouldn't have nothing to worry about but going to school. Going to school, coming home, do their homework, and be with their friends. That's what I did when I was young. Came home from school. I knew I couldn't go out until after I did my homework. Do my homework. Then I'm going to hit the streets, run up and down the block through the projects. That's what I did every day of my life. Have fun. So why is the kids today not having fun? Why are they in jail? Why are they damn drug addicts at 15, 14, 13? I don't get it. We need to teach people. We have to teach. You know, and that's just what it is. You know, we have to teach them that you got to get your rest. You know, that's another thing. In order for you to be successful in school, you need to sleep. You know, not stay woke. You need to sleep. When you don't sleep, you're cutting your life short. Because your body, your organs need rest. You know, because when we sleep, our organs slow down. So they don't have to work as hard. You know, because they're resting. You know, we have to teach people. Teach. And some of the ways y'all teaching is just not a good way for these kids. You know. We want these kids. Okay, I'm going to say this. We want them to be better leaders for their families. So continue to teach. I'm Ms. JJ Diamond, the president of Private Friend Incorporated. If you would like to join our team, you can contact me at privatefriendllc@yahoo.com, or you can call me at 443-805-9841. We take new people every day. We're looking for more help in getting donations to keep the kids off the street, make them happy, and keep them indoors. And you know, we take food, water. The kids love the water. You know, that's one thing I can say about them. They like keeping their insides clean, and I love it because so do I. We take cash donations, toys, crafts, you know, because the girls, they love doing crafts, you know. And if you want to donate, feel free to email me or call me. Please don't call me private. And we would give you a drop-off location. We take books because they love to read. We want good readers, you know, because if you're a good reader and you can comprehend well, you'll be able to learn in life. We take it all, people, to help anything to help these children. Feel free to email me at msjj@msjjdiamond.com. And I am signing out for today. Love you guys and love all those that donate. And also remember, our nonprofit is a 501c3 and it's tax exempt. So if there's any businesses that would like to donate, you will get a tax break for donating to our organization. And just continue to teach people. Teach. And help us continue to teach. And I'm signing out. It's Private Friend Incorporated.